Okay, here we are. Test. This is test. As George Harrison said, number 9. Here we are, testing. Oh, it should go to Rodecaster Pro. Should I click that? Yeah. Oops. Fuck me. Wait, I just got it.
3, 1,
Okay.
0.
All right, let's try again. This is not easy, folks. I told you. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello. Works. It works. So if that thing
Hello.
pops up, I just got to make sure I click
There you go.
Rodecaster Pro. Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye. So just for all of our 622 fans we have so far, we did this. The reason we were a little sketch on the tech, but we got it. We learned it is because we didn't want to do it. We wanted to do it homemade and alone. We didn't want to have any. Because I went to a place once and they were asking me if I wanted to do a podcast with them. And they all sat around the table and just looked at me like I was an object. And at one point, this young woman leaned forward with a pencil in her hand and said, "What is the show?" Hey, you do impressions, right? We could have people call in. You could. So anyway, I just couldn't take sad eyes. If someone gave me a note, my head would explode. So that's why we're doing it this way. It may seem a little disorganized. Some people go, the sound's not very good. Some people go, you need more structure, dude. You know.
Oh, are you talking about the comments?
The comments.
I'm like, I thought about it exactly that way. I was thinking, wow, this is like having a bunch of producers telling you how to do your podcast.
Right.
And I love that everyone weighs in. Like,
Oh, I know. That was the
it's
greatest.
hysterical. I would never be like, you really need to up the tremble in
Yeah.
the sound.
Who are these human beings that like, you really need to hear this? This guy was good. It needs better direction, Dana. It's too wild.
Oh, I saw that.
There's no introduction or anything. So here's a guy who's like, his wife is probably a little tortured. When we have sex, I don't know about the kissing up front. It's too profound. We need organization. I'm going to lead. But yeah, it's too wild, man. We're going to go more wild. And this is the kind of guy who will never not listen and not be a little pissed off. They don't have structure. The Tony Montana thing for 10 minutes up front, nobody would do that. Same thing with this, but today my guest is going to again be Larry Bubbles Brown because we've got unfinished business. My sister, Laurie, and people go, you could get celebrity guests. Like I could have gotten Obama for this, and he was fine with it. Dana, still coming on? No, actually, it's fine, Mr. President. I'm a big fan, but can we do it in a few weeks? That's all right. I was ready to go. Well, who are you going to have? My sister, Laurie, instead of me. Okay. Well, good luck with the podcast. That'll trend. I'm be there in a sec, Michelle. Michelle.
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
Are women more into personality or physicality? You have 5 seconds.
I guess it depends what woman you're speaking to.
Oh, dodge much?
No, because there's
that's
some
good.
women that it's all about. Well, perfect example would be like a single girl on, say, a dating site,
Yeah.
and it's the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's not handsome, that's
Gorgeous. Really? Does he know it? I think so. How's he? How's that guy? Pretty, but not gorgeous? No, but pretty. Yeah, it's an interesting.
like. Do you think Brad Pitt has a great personality? I wonder.
It all depends. Those are good questions. I think it's a fine plan. Find out what I'm doing. I'm doing Brad Pitt from my favorite movie of
I
the
love
last
your
2
Brad
years.
Pitt.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I saw it 11 times. I'm embarrassed to say. I think it's a masterpiece. And Brad Pitt's character is possibly the coolest character in the history of film.
I love that. I am.
I am. And I'm not about to go to prison on account of you. Show me your birth certificate. I'm Brad Pitt. I'm chiseled. He definitely has some frequency of high intelligence because he's projecting on the movie screen. I don't know, a guy who's gorgeous, like, well, I don't know what I'm doing here. He's cut and stunned. When are we going to shoot the movie, Dana Garver? I got a smile out of week 2. If this podcast was a trumpet, Maybe the guy will love it now. The guy who says it's too wild, man. It's just wild. I can't take it.
Now you're gonna get so much. It's too structured. You should have fun with it.
Yeah, just go with the flow. Don't be all pent up. Let's see. I could go. Do you guys want to be on?
I had a question.
You want to talk about Bitcoin?
Sure. But she has a question first.
Oh,
Chris.
okay. I had a question about Paul McCartney. Were you on SNL together? Like, was he ever on when you were on it? Or have you worked with him?
No.
Oh, for some reason I thought you did.
I only spent 4 days with him at Lauren Michaels' house.
Oh, excuse me. Of course. You have the most craziest experiences.
You don't know that story?
No.
Oh, then some people don't.
You should have just said, and then we went to the White House. Because that's absurd as well.
Well, this one was the craziest because I was a stand-up comedian.
How old were you?
I was 31.
Okay.
And I got picked to be on Saturday Night Live after being not picked for several years. Hey, you want to audition for Saturday Night Live? This is like 1983. Yeah, sure. Okay, you go on at midnight. Good. How long do you have? It's 5 minutes, and you follow Sam Kinison. Perfect. And SNL people will be there? Yeah. So that night it was death. Because Kinison he levitated the room. And I get up there, these church ladies behind the punch bowl, isn't that special? And dead silence. So I did get the show. That's another story. But then Lauren Michaels says, would you like to come out to Long Island and, would you hang out and stuff? And it's like August. No, I said, okay. No one else was there except Whitney Brown and Chevy Chase. And then Lauren says, and I'm super nervous, never been on TV. Lauren says, Paul's coming by tonight with Linda. Paul McCartney. Like, fuck, a Beatles coming? I'm not even on television. So I went and I answered the door.
Oh my God.
And there they were. It's a big mansion in Long Island. Lauren's off doing something. And Paul says, your face, it's gone a bit funny. To me. Which I guess I just turned red or something. So then we're hanging out with them, and I'm really nervous, and I didn't want to say something stupid, So I had the presence of mind. I go to myself, I'm going to mention a song from one of Paul's solo albums. Okay. So he's talking to me, and I go, I always wanted to ask you about a lyric on the song, It's a Tug of War, and that was the name of the album. When you said in the tug of war in the chorus, you said, one day we will stand on top of the mountain with the flag unfurled, but it won't be soon enough for me. What did you mean? And his face just dropped and his eyes got big. Well, I just saw a big old flag up there, just floating around. So after that, he knew I was a true fan. We're just kind of connected. So I'm meeting them for a while. Linda was adorable. She just met me casually, and my wife had not come with me on this trip because everything I'd ever done had failed. And she had a good job in L.A. I said, I'll be back by Christmas. I always put the light out on a show. I thought I would look at 8H, Saturday Night Live, and just be, do you want to switch the light, Dana, because you're the one who drove it into the fucking ditch. Church lady didn't work. And so I thought that was going to happen. So then we're just kind of hanging out, and then they come over. Linda comes over with Paul to me. Just met me, basically. We don't like that Paula's not here. We think she should be here. That was like so cool. And then Linda goes, you want to play the song? So Paul had a song he'd never put on an album that he just recorded. I'm like, oh, that'd be fun. So they put it in a disc, and A. Whitney Brown's there, Chevy Chase, Lauren Michaels, Linda, Paul, me. So right as the song's about to start, because now I've mentioned Tug of War to Paul, he leans into me and says this quote, never will forget it. Sometimes, when you're writing, you try so hard to live up to whatever, you end up ruining the fucker. And then it starts. So he's looking at me. I'm going, hey, it's good, man. Do, 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 do. And it actually was a very great, very melodic, beautiful song. And then after that, the marijuana came out. The funny newspapers. Oh. And I wasn't really a pot smoker at that time. But
Reefer madness.
But a Beatle hands you a joint, you're going to take it.
course.
Would you like a toke? No, fuck you, and you shouldn't be doing that, So then they came over for 4 nights, getting stoned, drinking,
God.
and laughing. And so that was cool.
That's crazy.
Then I went about Saturday Night Live, got the Emmy, the cover of Rolling Stone. So in 96 or something, honey, there's a package. So I open it up, and it's Flowers in the Dirt, one of his best solo albums. He did it with Elvis Costello, I believe. And it's embossed on it's like a big picture. And there's the record, Flowers in the Dirt. And a note from Paul says, this is for, we're sending this out to a few of our grooviest friends. And this was 10 years later.
Oh my God! You should put that on a T-shirt.
I know.
I'm Paul McCartney's grooviest friend.
But here's the trifecta, which for people who have heard this story, I'm doing it slower with more embellishment because, you could ask me whether I should be doing this. My answer would be,
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
thank you. So, Mommy, I love that. Chris's ringtone from her son is Mommy, right? What is it?
Mom, mommy,
Mom,
mama,
mama.
mama.
This guy's head's gonna explode. It's just too wild. It's too disorganized. It's got to be linear. Subject and name. It's not even working. Nothing's happened. I've been sitting for 20 minutes. I started a podcast. It makes me sad. Makes me so sad.
So back to Paul McCartney.
The trifecta.
But then didn't you do him as a character?
I did him on I did him on SNL. I did him on the Dana Carvey show. I did him over the years and stuff, but I didn't know. So then I meet him in 86. I get the gift in 96. Now it's 2015, the 40th anniversary.
Okay.
So during a commercial break, they want me to do chopped broccoli on this little montage.
Okay.
So I'm up there. The whole audience is famous people, literally. Every single face
Right.
is famous. It was Trump. It was Eddie Murphy. It's just whoever.
Yeah, every audience member was a celebrity, correct?
Everyone's famous.
Yeah.
So I knew this little downstep from a song he does called For No One on Revolver. Your day breaks, your mind aches, you find that only. So we're just doing the commercial break. So I start to play those chords. Ding, dun, dun, ding, dun. So he stands up, does kind of the 6 shooters. Hey, Dan, I know what you're doing, Dan. Tom Hanks and Jimmy Fallon stand up. Whoa, we know what you're doing. Yeah, I think Tom Hanks yelled out, play help or something. Anyway, so I did that. We did Wayne's World at the end of the show. We thought it was going to go right into the dumper. I said to Mike, we should either be very offended or very flattered that we're on at the end of 4 hours. And now Wayne's World. But luckily, we did. It really worked really well. And Paul was there and the whole thing. And then we go off and it's the Good Nights for the 40th anniversary, which was a big smash for Lorne Michaels in the whole show. And the stage is full of every comedian in history, Steve Martin, pop, pop. And so I'm off to the side, and suddenly I feel someone massaging my traps, my back. I look over, and it's Paul.
Shut up.
How you doing, Dan? You feel pretty good, How you do funny up with the thing you do? Mike Myers is there. His eyes are really big because he's a Beatle fan too. Where's his back rub from a Beatle, And then he goes, hey, maybe I'm amazed. I go, maybe I'm amazed. What about the whole album, the 4-track in the basement? And then I'm even more Paul's friend because I know that. I know, Dan, you go to about. So now Paul has a new album out, and it's great. It's really good. And I really want to have him on this podcast because, I'm a super fan. And I was doing this Flight of Fancy, which I read a rumor that the Beatles had tried to make their way to Woodstock in '69. And they rented a car spontaneously, George, Ringo, Paul, and John, and tried to drive upstate New York in 1969 to see Woodstock. But they got lost. So I'd love to, Baldy, you should take a left. I don't know. I'm just going up the hills and around. We'll see a lot of hippies or something. Ringo's like, well, me brothers, I think you've got us lost. We're never going to make it to Woodstock, me brothers. What about you, George? Well, I think that everybody knows the way to Woodstock, 'cause certainly Paul and John would. All we're going to find there is a bunch of spotty hippies with spotty behinds. I just did that so I could do George Harrison, because he's the languorous middle one.
I think we need to ring up Paul McCartney.
Well, let's do it. Give me a news story, and I'll do it as Beatley news.
Oh, right.
Give me any news story.
He's here right now. Here he is.
Here he is.
Paul
Oh,
McCartney
Paul, you're
will be
saying-
doing our
Yeah.
wild podcast.
This will be one of our runners, the Beatley news. And it's put through a Beatley personality. Dex is looking up. Okay, here. Which one? Okay. I'll let you pick one. I want you to pick one. It's like pick a card, any card.
God. Hey,
Okay, she's going to pick one. Yeah.
So I'm just going to pick one and you're going to read about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My husband wants to name our unborn daughter after his deceased ex-wife.
My husband. Okay. You know, it's a bit Maury Povich, you know, people getting divorced and stuff, you know. The wifey went to the stars, fly away, you know. And the husband, you know, he gets another wifer. He gets a backup wifer. You know, she gets a twofer. You know, and they go, you know, they do the whoopee. And they want, you know, baby's going to come, you know, pop out. I'll pop out a little one, you know. But the woman who went to the stars, you know, the hubby says, hold on. I think we'll name the baby after me mother. And the new wifey goes, I don't think so. That's a little bit too closey. Why don't we name it after my mother? He said, no, my mother. And then the baby was actually a boy. And they both said, why are we fighting? I love you, you love me, even though I'm number two. I wrote a song about it. I'm number two, you're number one. We named the baby and he did come to another place. I'm just saying. Everybody knows that everybody knows that, oh my God. Sunrise in the morning, single see the star. I've tried to do Paul the way he sings now, which I love, you know.
What is all doop, doop, doop?
Doop, 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 doop. No, he also says, they were told that they were gone. In the sun they said, it's a different voice than it used to be, but it gets the job done.
Is it more croony? Is that what it is?
It's everything.
Like, what's his younger? Can you do a younger Paul?
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Like, what changes?
Well, everybody, like, Paul did brilliant harmony, high harmony. Lennon was low, even though Lennon was here, you know, if I fell in love with you, if I fell in love with you. So his songs he wrote at 17, you know, and everyone's voice changes. So it's good to be Springsteen, you know. We're going to age 20. You can't tell me what you want to do. 30. Hey, oh, baby, 40. Hey, oh, 70. Can you tell me what you want more? You know? So that's good. And I think that, you know, Mick Jagger's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Can't get that satisfaction. I can sing the song like I was 22. So Paul has to deal with his octaves and stuff because of those beautiful melodies he did, you know. I give her all my love, that's all I do. And if you saw my love, you'd love her too. And I love her. Bum, 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 bum. George did that part. It made the whole song. Thank you, Paul, for finally giving me a little sugar. Come on, me brothers, don't fight. This will make some boomers happy. It's too wild.
I was just telling Guy the story about you and my favorite David Bowie and Mick Jagger. Because I was telling him how you have the most craziest stories with every famous person possible.
I feel like I've been in my room most of my life, but when they add up, I guess I got out.
They're insane, the stories that you've told me.
First year of SNL, John Lovitz, Dennis Miller, and I are wandering around after the show. Maybe after the party, or maybe it was on a weeknight. Anyway, we wander into the Columbus Cafe, West Side. It's empty. In the back, at a table, David Bowie, Mick Jagger, you know. I always watch you come over here. So we sit with them, and Bowie said, we're really quite famous, And they're smoking pot, and it's just too cool for school. Jagger kind of fancied. There was a woman with Dennis or something. He kind of fancied her.
So he was gonna have her.
Well, I think he maybe later or whatever called her. I don't know. I don't know if Mick's listening. I bet all these guys are listening to this. I just downloaded Mick. You can get it on Spotify now. I tried Spotify. I don't know what Mick's talking
Wait,
about.
is it on Spotify? Because someone did write that in the comments. I don't have iTunes, so unless you get Spotify, I'm not listening to it.
I can't find the platforms to listen to a song. It's something that really makes it crazy. I can't get on Spotify. Pitt is gonna. When we have Pitt on, I'm doing a friend of mine's character, and he'll be on doing it. But
Wait, so-
anyway, and then Mick left, and then Bowie said, "Do you want to go downtown to a dance club?" Okay. So we went downtown and we're on the dance floor with Bowie, and he taught us that move of planting your left foot and moving your right foot and doing a 360 spin. That's how I remember. Super nice guy. Brilliant. Loved David Bowie. One of the greats of all time.
And another chapter in the memoirs of
And
Dana
another
Carvey.
chapter. And he also, at the end of the dancing, gave me a neck massage. I think at this point, because we'll probably call Larry,
Larry?
I should do I'm going to do him this week, too, before our guest. It would be official for the guy. And now, because we have really good structure, we're going to do some elements that we did in the first podcast. And I guess we'll start with Redneck, or should we start with Drunk John and Carson? Redneckie. Okay, a lot of people really like this. Now, this, folks, if you haven't heard it, it's intentionally bad comedy. In the comedy world, you have observational comedians. Why a paperclip? You could use a stapler. Observational. And then you have New York angry comedians. What drives me nuts? Meter maids. What? Huh? So then I thought the redneck comedians are the greatest. Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, they're brilliant. They all have Gulf Streams. And I'm just doing a really bad blue-collar comic from the South. And he's called Redneckie, the redneck comedian. And so here he is, and he has a catchphrase. So here it is. Wait a minute, someone's calling me. I'm going to click them off. Oh, I can't wait for the comments on that. You got to silence that phone, dude. That is way off that is so unprofessional. You got to silence the phones. I can't. You don't even silence the phones. If I had a show like yours, I would silence. You should have Obama, not your sister. You could get so many. You could get so many views. You could be so big. What if a month from now we're super organized? Chris, what's the question? All right. Redneckie, the redneck comedian. Yeah, I'm Redneckie, the redneck comedian. I knew a guy so fat, lost his keys in his butt crack. Come on, get some. So I don't know if I swallowed those words. I knew a guy.
Try it again.
Okay, I knew a guy. Oh, I'm Redneckie, the redneck comedian. I know a guy, he's so fat, lost his keys in his butt crack. Come and get some. I know a guy, he's so fat, lost his keys in his butt crack. These are hard jokes to write, and they're intentionally bad. I don't want to see a comment guy. Those aren't even good jokes. Anyone could write those jokes. Ugh. That's my word of the year.
Oh, right.
Ugh. Hey, the virus is mutating. Ugh. Oh, the comment guy in the podcast thinks it's too wild. Ugh. It's for anything bad. All the food is rotting, and I saw a leg in the egg that I cracked today. Ugh. It's so weird. I can't believe this. Where are you from? I'm from St. Carlos, Montana. You sound like John Travolta. That's so wrong. I don't sound like nothing. That's so unorganized. He keeps coming back to Travolta, and it's an impression from 1975. Just drives me nuts. Okay, here we go. Another Redneckie. Well, going on. I'm high. I got to get the voice because I'm still learning it, right? Let me do one from last week to get my voice warmed up. You ever crap so big you don't know go down that toilet? Come and get some. Okay, that's it. I knew Redneck married his sister, but only after Momma turned him down. Come and get some. so bad. Let me do it again. I liked it so much. Rednecky, the redneck comedian, with 14 sold-out Staples Center concerts. Rednecky, like you've never seen him before. I know a redneck married his sister, but only 'cause Mama turned him down. Come and get some. Oh, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. It's hard to get the timing. Here we go. I was on a roll. Let's see. Rednecky, 29 straight sold-out shows in the Dodger Stadium. Tickets are still available. Rednecky, Rolling Stone raves. Is it real? I know a redneck married his sister, only 'cause his mama turned him down. Come and get some. more. Okay, and here's one I don't think I should use because it kind of is it's a ugh one, but I have a hard time writing these. My family's so poor, we couldn't afford steak, so we barbecue up some cow pies instead. Come and get some. I guess that's, nah. That's what you're doing, Dana Carvey.
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
I know, I took it too far, and those gals. We're going to have them on, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in future on disorganized shows. Okay, now my other favorite thing I'm doing right now is runners. There'll be other runners as we go forward. This is Johnny Carson. I'm appropriately punchy now. I got up at 4. I couldn't sleep.
Oh, my God.
Ambien didn't work. It was nothing. I paced. I went down and had some soy milk. Then I tried to think of things. What do you think of?
CBD is the new...
Okay. Well, could I possibly come and get some? Never set up a comic.
I wish people could see the physicality of Redneckie when you do.
We will release a video of me doing it, Redneckie. So as a vote, would it be lost the keys in his butt crack or only because Mama turned him down?
The Mama turned down.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
We're going to go mad at his sister only because Mama turned him down. Come and get some. Okay, so this is Johnny Carson. Johnny may not be able to follow Redneckie, but this is Johnny Carson getting pulled over for drunk driving. We did 3 last week. And the joke is it's the 70s, and it's something that makes my brain happy. I have no reason why this works. But it's about the name of the drink and the place he had the drink, and that's where the comedy comes from. Okay.
You need the siren.
Sure. Boo, boo, boo. Listen. Anyway, I'm spattling, but don't worry, we're socially distanced. Chris has a helmet on. Okay. Oh, sorry, officer. I didn't know I was swerving. I had a double silly spider at the Squawking Pineapple. Longer screams. Try it again with longer screams. Okay. Oh, sorry, officer. I didn't know I was swerving. I had a silly spider at the Squawking Pineapple. Oh, keep it going. Yeah. All right. We'll do it with the next one. We're really long with the next one. So that one, I had a double silly spider at the Squawking Pineapple, and that could reverse. I had a Squawking Pineapple at the silly spider. Either one works. Okay. Next one. Oh, sorry, officer. Sorry, officer. I didn't know I was swerving. I had a Randy rum. It sure drinks a lot. That's it. Runs out. Okay, got it. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, sorry, officer. I didn't know I was. This is the punchy part. Sorry, officer. I didn't know I was swerving. I had 2 wild willies at Desperate Dan's. That's the best one. The reason that's the best one is because Desperate Dan's. And these two, Dex and Chris. Wild Willie. I had 2. Let's just do it over. Well, I'll do it for Larry, too. But I had 2 wild willies at Desperate Dan's. Okay. Before we have Larry on, let's just play one. Have you heard the latest Obama Fauci? Or?
No, because you told me not to listen to it.
Okay. So Obama... Michelle hears the podcast. This is the previous one.
Okay.
And she gets traumatized. She ran to her room crying by hearing the Dana Carvey podcast. She won't come out. She won't eat. She's not the same person. So Tony, he's leaving this message for Tony Fauci. We got to find Dana Carvey. We're going to fuck them up. So that's that one. And then how do we play that one?
I love how he says your name.
So this is Fauci and Obama.
Tony, Barack, let me guess. You're calling about Dana Carvey's new podcast. Damn straight. Podcast pisses me off. Dana Carvey deserves a beating. That's right. Michelle's still not the same person. We're going to try wind tunnel therapy. What's that? You go into a tunnel, and they blow a 90-mile-per-hour wind in your face for about 24 hours. Try and reset the brain. That has a 60% chance of working. Tony, where'd you get that number? Just popped into my head. You gotta stop doing that. Okay, 80%. Tony, stop it. Just stop. 90%. Tony, no. So let's get on a call with Joe Biden and see if he can help us find Dana Carvey, beat him like a drum, and stop the Dana Carvey podcast. Good ideas, Barack. I'm Tony Fauci. Go fuck yourself.
That's his moniker. Anyway, that one, I just like that they turned it into a comedy team. 60%.
I love how they just want to kill you.
Yeah, they're after me, and this is an arc. There's going to be more to come and more people involved, and there's several more episodes before we get to the end of
An angry mob.
people that are angry at this podcast.
Well, the crying guy will probably be part of it.
I couldn't even. I didn't know where it was. There's no structure. You can't watch it. You don't know where I'm going. It's just like Kirk Douglas doing the same thing. I can't keep track of what he's doing. It makes my brain wild. You did do it. I can't do it because I don't want to. Sorry. I'm really punchy because of the technical part. I'm sorry about this episode. I apologize.
Oh, you know what I didn't understand? Do you see that comment about your writing on paper?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that I love that you put a question mark.
I did, yeah. It was just like, hey, paper.
like, huh?
Yeah. I shouldn't deep dive in those comments. I just see them as people with issues or something. But most 99% are very sweet. I'm going to use the bathroom, and then we'll call Larry.
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
Anyway, now we're going to call Larry Bubbles Brown, a longtime friend of mine, San Francisco treat, famous comedian. We're going to talk to him a little bit about his album and see what happens. And this is his second appearance.
Hello.
Is Larry there?
Yes.
All right, come on, get some.
Hi.
Chris says
Hey.
hi.
Chris, you got a great laugh.
Oh, thank you.
Through a mask. Chris wears a mask because we're COVID friendly. And we did something a minute ago that was pretty too far. We made Redneckie a serial killer with a chainsaw. You tough. You got some.
You got to do his new joke for him,
Oh, yeah.
the sister.
This is, you'd like, because I don't do one-liners, but this is Redneckie. Yeah. Sorry. I knew a redneck who married his sister, but only because Mama turned him down. Come and get some. 29 sold-out shows at Dodger Stadium. He is back. I know a redneck so fat, he lost his keys in his butt crack. Come and get some. So my brother Scott, who will be on January 25th
Oh my God,
with great
really?
stories, he's loving the podcast, and he just said, "Oh my God, Redneckie, come and get some." You never know what's.
Come and get some
See?
tour.
No, I'm going to be in a fat suit. I'm going to be dressed, and we'll both be touring next year. The joke will be on us. Dana Carvey's podcast has been suspended while he tours globally post-COVID with Larry Bubbles Brown. They have a G5 that is one notch up from Ron White. Come and get some tours. Tickets available everywhere in every country. 900 million people say yes.
I liked what Larry said when he's like, it's a maskless event.
Yes, and all the redneckers won't wear masks. They are a super spreader event, so come down and spread that COVID.
Get
Come
some.
and get some, and come and give some.
You bring a mask, we kick your ass.
You try to stop the spread, your head is full of lead. Come and get some. Are you threatening us with gunfire if we wear a mask? Damn straight. I'm Redneckie, and ain't nobody tell me what to do. I got some. Yeah, the end of the tour, it's I got some, because the plane is made of gold, solid gold. It barely can fly. Get it up, pilots. Redneckie's solid gold airplane flies in an altitude of 300 feet if it's lucky. But anyway. Okay, Larry, no pressure on you, but do you have a joke of the week for us?
I do.
You do? Okay, Dex, get ready. And whenever you're ready, 3, 2, 1, Larry Bubbles Brown with his joke of the week.
I had a trophy wife. She looked like a moose.
It kind of dropped out, but I think it was I had a trophy wife. She looked like a moose.
She looked like a moose. Yes,
Yeah. The sound wobbled right as you said moose, slightly, right?
I can redo it.
Redo it. Here we go. Larry Bubbles Brown with the joke of the week.
I had a trophy wife. She looked like a moose. You told me you like concise writing, so I think that was 9 words. So.
No, that's a great joke. I had trophy wife. You look like a moose. That's also like I used to sleep alone. Now I have ants. I like that one too.
I like that one too.
Well,
Yeah.
and the trophy wife I could tag with Big Rack. So.
Big rack. Whoops. Okay. 2020.
That's too dirty for the Dana Carvey podcast.
And Larry Bubbles Brown has officially been canceled after 48 years in the business. So I was gonna, because we've been kind of silly today, because we did all the technical hoops. So it's actually up. You're up on iTunes, and that first episode is up. Just so you know.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mm-hmm. So we're a little punchy today. We got off to a slow start, but we're heading home. And I like to ask comedians what their first night of stand-up was, and what did you feel like afterwards? So would you tell us that story?
I will. And you said I'm not quite 48 years, but I did.
No, I'm kidding. I'm 50 years. I'm exaggerating. But yeah, tell them when you started.
Yeah, I am coming up on 40 this March. So. I do remember my first time on, and I've talked to you and how horrifying it was. But
well, let me ask you a question real quick. How was it a childhood thing? I want to be a stand-up. When did the idea pop into your head? Maybe I'll.
Oh yeah, definitely a childhood thing.
Okay.
And I had no idea how people got into show business or comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started seeing ads for open mics around San Francisco. And one night I went down to the Punchline. I guess had one on Sunday night, and I went down there, and I can remember it was February of 1980. It was a rainy Sunday, and I went in there thinking, God, these guys no one's heard of these guys. They're gonna suck. And I went in there, and there's some really good comics. There was Bobby Slade and Jeremy Kramer,
famous comedians. Very soulful.
So I started going down there every Sunday night to watch these guys, and I watched for an entire year before I tried to do my own set. So.
Wow.
And I was so terrified to try it, and I saw there was a girl that bombed so badly, I thought, I can't do as bad as she did. So,
those are always the gifts. When the train wrecks come before you, it's a very calming effect. There's one definitely worse than me.
Yeah, exactly. So someone told me, don't do your first set at the Punchline. It's too big. Do the Holy City Zoo. So I went out there.
Which was like a 50-seater, 40-seater, maybe.
At best, yeah. And I think, is that where you did your first one?
No, mine's a weird story. But yeah, go ahead.
No, yours is a great story, but I didn't know where it was. So,
It was in Berkeley on Telegraph Avenue, a hippie dive with a small room in the back called the La Salamandra.
How old were you?
I was 20.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, first
You
set.
look 12.
I was carded. I was just thrown out of places a lot in my early 20s.
How
They
did you
didn't
do
wanna-
on that first one?
Well, will you finish yours? You want me to interject?
You can interject. Yours are better.
Okay. Well, I actually was there for your first night, so I know the story better than you. So Larry was really nervous, and then he came up. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't there. Mine was that I saw in the newspaper, the San Francisco Chronicle, comedians. I only thought they were famous comedians. Don Rickles, Richard Pryor. Comedians
Yeah.
never heard of at La Salamandra. I guess it was Saturday night. So I recruited a few friends. We went over there. We're watching the comedians in the back. I'm incredibly nervous and incredibly excited, but I wasn't thinking I was going to go up. So the comedians were not that great. I thought I could maybe do this. I took out a napkin and started writing down some things that I used to do or with friends. And then a comedian came up that levitated the room. He was so on fire and so brilliant. I was like, oh, huh. And I took the napkin and crunched it up, put it in my pocket. It was Robin Williams,
Oh my God.
pre-Mork and Mindy.
Oh my God.
Oh, for those of you on acid, this is a Frisbee. You know, it was like all disorganized stuff. So it was like, it seemed so supernatural. But then the guy goes, well, we're going to have an open mic at 11:30 for anyone who wants to sign up. So I just went to watch. I guess I'll go up.
Oh my God.
And I was so nervous. Every joke bombed. But then I would say, well, moving right along now. And it wasn't really jokes. It was like, Howard Cosell, how are you? You know, I did John Wayne. Well, come on. And, you know.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes, is that your first time? Well, why don't you come back in 2 weeks and MC? This is innocent days. So then the whole peninsula, all these middle-class white kids, the word got out. Hey, a local kid, Dana Carvey's doing comedy in Berkeley next Saturday night. So I came in and there was like 20 kids, suburban kids with me. And this was a really hippie, weird place. And the guy was there, the chalkboard said $2 cover. And he looked, he saw me, saw all the people, erased it, and put $3. Never forgot that. And then I went up. I guess I proceeded to bomb for years, but I did interview Robin Williams for a school project I had at San Francisco State. I had a tape recorder. What do you like to do for the future? I'll never forget Robin and that weird, incredible voice he had. Oh, I just want to play for the people. I really like to play for the people. Do you think of being famous? I don't know, boss. I'm not really sure, but I like to play for the people. I'm your boss. Anyway, that was Robin's term of affection, if he liked you. Okay, boss. Oh, boss. God rest his soul. Loved him, and we had a long-term 40-year relationship and became friendly right toward the end of his life. The first time hey, let's grab lunch or something, you know? And then he went to L.A. and, you know, never saw him again. But we did have some fun times, man. And he was always the gold standard. You could kill as hard as you could, and then he'd come in and you go, I got to work harder. Damn.
Yeah.
You know? But he was nice. When I got Saturday Night Live and was starting to do well with those characters, he called me. I'll never forget it. And he was really like, oh, I just want to say, really, really doing great, boss. And all these characters and all this confidence. I don't know what to say. You know, so Larry, but let me just, what did you feel? You go up, and I assume you did okay, because normally the first set's good. And then what were you feeling when you left or when you got off?
Yeah, well, I did have some jokes written out, and Billy, you remember Billy J? He helped me get a good spot on the. I think I went up like fourth, and
Oh yeah, Billy J.
back then the Holy City Zoo would have they had a pretty big crowd for the open mic. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And so Billy told me, whatever you do, don't tell them it's your first time on stage.
Oh
So
no.
I said, okay. And then the MC, Rebecca, her introduction is, now for his first time on stage, welcome Larry Brown. So that blew
But you get so much sympathy. You always use the first time, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But he said no. But she told me it is first time. So.
But let me
So
guess,
that's
you
sympathy.
kind of killed, right?
I did. I went up there and I remember, how you're blinded by the light. I couldn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
And for a couple of seconds, I'm trying to get the first joke out, and I didn't think my mouth was going to work.
Got it.
And finally it came out, and it was a bad joke. I heard George Carlin had a similar joke. I said, I almost didn't make it here. I was in a freak accident. I ran over a dwarf. And there was,
Just so I'm distracted.
He gave me a bigger laugh than the whole crowd that night. But it did actually got a small laugh. It got a delayed reaction. And I don't remember my other material. And it went pretty well.
Interesting.
But I remember I was so nervous I did not eat food the entire day, and I was like that my first few open mics. Every Tuesday night I'd do my day job and I wouldn't eat food at all, and I'd just be nervous as hell.
Yeah, I had my palms would be bright red and my throat would be bright red all day, the day of a show, and just sweating nerves all day long. And some people were just really confident and relaxed, but it took me a long time to get past that. By the way, and then of course, when you get on stage, you look your best, you're being funny, then suddenly, for someone like me, suddenly girls are like, you're so funny. You know, it's like, it's a revelation for a nerdy comedian who never had a girlfriend, you know, doing stand-up, right, Larry?
Yeah. Well, the third time I went on stage, women never talked to me, and I did my set, and it went really well. And I go in the back, and I get approached by a really tall, dark hair, a brunette. She's about 5'9", really pretty. And,
thanks for the detail. How long were her?
I saw you last week, and you were so funny. And she quoted a couple of my jokes, and she was really nice. And then it was Nora Dunn. So.
Nora Dunn
my
from
gosh.
Saturday Night Live. Yes, a brilliant comedian. I think, we were talking to Chris earlier about that, and she says it depends on the woman whether it's more personality or looks. Like some men, she said, are gorgeous, but not too bright. And then some men are kind of more entertaining. But there are certain women that want a funny like humor is a big attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, because I look 14, it was kind of like some kind of Freudian thing about wanting to have sex with their little brother or something. So I don't know. But how's your love life now? Well, by the way, yeah.
It's going to be a one-liner answer.
My sex life is like a Tesla, 0 emissions.
So, Larry, I should call my sister because we've been here for a couple hours, but we were a little discombobulated today, but we can edit it. And when we do an edit, this is what we play.
What you doing, Carvey?
And that's done by a friend of mine's daughters, and they just did it spontaneously for their dad. You know, what you doing, Dana Carvey? So that's our edit. But will you be able to be back next week with a joke of the week?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We got 2 today. We got the Tesla joke and the trophy wife. I got a million of them.
It is unbelievable what you come up with. Yeah, I love the moose one. Yeah. She's
and the dating one. You had 3 today.
Oh, and the dating one, yeah.
You're like a Tesla.
Yeah. I know a redneck married sister. Only because mama turned him down. Come and get some. I don't know why. Why is the whole thing going to be Redneckie? Anyway, whatever.
It's gotten so funny just in the past week.
I know. Dreams dying. So farewell, smart, articulate podcast. That's my phone. All right, Larry, we'll call you and we'll hear from you next week with Larry Bubbles Brown from San Francisco, and the joke of the week.
You got it.
All right, Larry, we'll talk soon.
Bye, Larry.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
Here is my sister, Laurie, who was with us last week.
From Connecticut.
From Connecticut. Here she is. She calls me Dane.
She has no energy whatsoever.
Yeah, and doesn't laugh.
Hello?
Is Laurie there?
Is Dana there?
Kind of. We're a little punchy today. We got a little behind. This is our 7th hour. And
Oh my God, you must
no.
be exhausted.
We're fine. No, this is fun. This is my vacation doing this podcast. I love doing it. We went through technical hell this week, and Dex got it going, and it's up everywhere, by the way. So you're on Spotify, you're on iTunes, you're
Oh my
everywhere.
God.
So you're going to have a bunch of fans on your yard because you said you're in Connecticut. on the podcast.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You may get your
I'll be
own.
waiting.
You may get your own T-shirt one of these days. Lori,
Because I was on the Dana Carvey podcast.
and now you're on it a second time.
I was on the Dana Carvey podcast twice.
And
so
we turned down
pretty
Barack Obama. I'm ready to come on, Dana. I got my sister Laurie. Oh, okay. Good luck. Good luck getting views. So, but they don't know Laurie. So I'll just start. We've had fun talking about our childhood. We have very eccentric parents. Suffice to say, they'll evolve. I was going to bring up
Yeah.
two things about Bud. One will apply to both of us. We call him Bud. Both my parents went to the Stars. We're just here to have fun. We had a funny, crazy childhood, right, Lori? Just like funny,
Yes,
but
I'll
wild.
confirm it.
Fi-
Funny, wild, yeah.
5 kids, all different, all just obsessed with things. We were in that way. We weren't like, what? I have to study an instrument? We were just rampant. Could I get a, So, that's why I did the
We're
Hardy.
all kind of eccentric, right? We're just kind of eccentric in our own
Eccentric.
way.
But the parents didn't have to do anything. They just heard about us doing stuff.
Were they young parents?
Yes, my mom married at 22 and had 5 kids by 32. So her eyes were real big and she wore a lot of cold cream. A lot of times you'd bring a friend over and she'd be in her robe and she'd go back toward her bedroom. It's like 4 p.m. Pancake batter in the fridge. That was your dinner. But I don't blame her. Now that I know, 32 and 5 kids, just rough and tumble and just the noise of it.
Well, and the big pots of oatmeal. She'd get up early in the morning, and there was just a big pot of oatmeal, and she went back to bed.
And bless her heart, but there were just so many lumps in that oatmeal. I mean, it was a lump city. You'd be like chewing through it and almost hit like a peanut or something.
It was a
Well,
metaphor.
that's when she did the cream of wheat. That was really lumpy.
Yeah. Remember the glaze we'd put on the toast and put it in the oven? We'd make
Yeah,
brown
Brad used to do it.
brown sugar or powdered sugar and
It
milk
was powdered sugar.
and milk.
Powdered sugar and milk, and Brad had it just perfectly, being the scientist, the perfect velocity or viscous or whatever you call it. He had it on the toast. He had it perfectly toasted, and he would never share it. You could never have a bite.
No. And Brad was the one who's based on Garth. So Brad, could I have a bite of that? No. You have to you have to make yourself. And he was right.
Yeah.
Brad's going to come on the podcast. Scott has agreed to come on the podcast January 25th. He has a Monday off.
How far apart are you guys?
Laurie would have been the baby. I was 3. Scott was 5. Brad was 7.
Oh, my God.
Mark was 9. And my mom was tired.
Yeah, they were all 2 years apart.
And
Yeah,
Bud
2 years
Carvey,
apart.
oh, Jesus Christ, I'm surrounded by idiots. That's what Scott says he used to say. Today he told me, I'm surrounded by idiots, morons, you big dummy. Yeah. Remember the
God,
phrase?
no wonder we had low self-esteem.
Oh, it made me have high self-esteem. I didn't pay any attention to anything he said because he used to scream when he threw up. I mean, most people throw up, but he'd be like, oh, you hear him down the hallway. Get a grip, man. You're vomiting. So after that, I didn't, Anyway.
Dana,
But
in the middle of the night, I had to take him to the emergency room.
Well, Laura.
How old were
Screaming
you?
and
How-
vomiting out the window.
Oh, I know. Well, when I was in junior college, you made me go get his enema kit at CVS. Oh, Dane. I'm like 18. I'm super fit. I'm a runner. Oh, Jesus Christ, Dane. Here's some money. Give me my hand. Here's what it looks like. He couldn't even say the word. I go, geez, man, stay off the beef, bitch. Easy on the gravy, saucy. But yeah, Laura, you were the last kid there, so that you must have been doing it when we were all gone then, right? Driving Bud to
Doing
the
what?
driving Bud to the emergency
Driving
room.
Bud around. Yeah.
Doing what? I'm sorry, it was 18 seconds ago. Driving Bud to the
She's like 12 driving him around.
doing what? I went. All right.
I am going to be 63. Sorry.
You're a young 63. So
right.
I'll just do
Yeah.
2 words for you. One applies to both of us. One applies to me from Daddy Bud.
Okay, let me see if I can focus and concentrate.
Crispies and whiskers.
Ooh.
The
Am I
crispy.
supposed to guess what they are? Is it-
Yeah, unless you know. Well, the Crispies. That's more abstract. What do you think the Crispies were?
Are you asking me?
Yes. No. Chris? Do you
Well,
know
it
what
sounds
the
like
Crispies?
either a pet and some sort of food you guys were made from your mom or something.
Oh,
What's that?
good. She's got some good ideas.
Is that your mom
it was-
from the
yeah, why are we asking me? You should ask her. She wasn't there.
Oh, but this was just
it was-
Bud doing.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a little echo all of a sudden. Is it coming from my phone?
Oh, boy.
Hold
I'm
on.
not on
It's
speakerphone.
it's
this
your
time.
parents from the
Hold
great
on.
beyond.
Hold on, everyone listen.
Oh, okay.
Hello? Huh.
Hello? I don't hear it, Dane.
I hear it.
I hear it. We hear it on our headphones. Our headphones.
Oh, you have headphones, bitches. I'm
Yeah,
got
that's
a
just-
regular phone.
She just called us bitches. Did you hear that?
You did?
She just called us bitches.
I did on the podcast.
And we're not going to edit it out. I think we have an echo. Laurie, we're going to have to try to call you right back. Let's do what you're doing, Dana Carvey.
Wow.
We'll call you
We're
right
gonna
back.
Get cut in the middle. All right.
Call you right
Okay,
back.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.
What you doing, Dana Carvey?
That was just weird.
Yeah, it just happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it was going
that's
fine.
A technical thing.
Yeah,
have
I
no
think
idea what
sometimes
that
you know how
is.
sometimes the phones will do that.
Yes.
You know when you're having a
100%.
conversation with someone
And
and, all
it'll
of a
just
sudden
start.
you hear yourself.
I would say try just calling her again,
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay.
and if it doesn't work,
Then we'll just.
You'll need a hard line.
yeah,
This is her hard line.
No, maybe from the.
something to do with.
Oh,
this.
then I could hold the phone up
Yeah, just put the
Yeah,
phone up.
yeah.
If it doesn't work.
if I do.
Hello?
Hi.
Is it better now?
It's perfect. All right, folks.
Hey.
Hey, folks. I'm Joe Biden. Come on, man. My dad lost his job. No joke. I'm not kidding around here. So the Crispies. Bud fancied himself a chef. Remember when he would put the ground beef in the spaghetti sauce and he'd simmer it for like 8 hours and it tasted exactly like if he'd simmered for 2 minutes? Also,
When he ate it, too, Dane.
oh, he'd eat it with a spoon and
there was hardly any left.
he'd lean over it and eat it with a spoon. Remember when he threw his pipe out the window trying to quit smoking? Oh, Jesus Christ, he threw it out. Anyway, remember when I got, here's something.
Wait,
that's-
so the Crispies was.
the
part of
Crispies
the
where
beef?
on Sunday morning, he'd get a pan out and he'd put a big, like an inch of oil and he'd heat it up and then he'd do the pancakes in them. So the first batch out, he called them Crispies because they were bubbly and thick and gooey with oil. And he said, oh, Jesus Christ, Dane loves the Crispies. So he gave me a big stack. We never had maple syrup because that was too expensive. We had Caro's vanilla syrup that was clear with ants around it. It's protein, Jesus Christ. So he poured that on the top of it, and it was a mound of gooey, oily pancake. And I just was scared of him, so I ate the whole thing, and then I did go throw up. But I didn't cry. I didn't cry.
And then used his enema.
No.
kit.
Oh, Dane, can you give me one of these kits? After a while, I mess with him. You mean this enema kit? Because you have bowel movement problems? Oh, Jesus Christ, it's called Fleet. It's called Fleet. I think that was the name of it.
Yes.
The whiskers was when he'd get a 3 or 4 day growth of sharp whiskers. And they say, oh, and there are 4 boys. And he'd take us and one at a time and pin us on the ground and then rub his face on our face. Oh, Jesus Christ, you like the whiskers. You love the whiskers. Yeah. I talked to a guy recently and goes, oh, yeah, we all got the whiskers. This was some guy's other family, so I guess that wasn't that exotic. Everybody does the whiskers. Jesus Christ.
I guess it was a thing because he called it the whisker treatment.
Yeah,
You're
but
going to get the whisker treatment.
Did any of you guys like it or look forward to it?
no. Let's
Therapy much? No, that was not. He was getting off on it.
No, Dana,
Helpless
I never
child.
got the whisker.
no, you
I
didn't.
didn't get the whisker.
Yeah, you were the girl. But here, you just yes or no. Yes or no. Quiz for our childhood. Did Bud always say, what word did Bud always say? It's 2 words. when he sneezed?
Horseshit.
And it'd be like, oh, horseshit. Okay.
Did I get it right?
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding,
Good.
ding. You win a prize.
Yeah. You win a prize, Dolores
I
Doll.
get a free T-shirt. I
Yes,
was on the
a
Dana Coffee podcast.
That's the T-shirt.
Okay.
Okay, what parents do sometimes, you grow up and you come back and they say a family's coming over and you go, who are they? And they get mad that you don't remember their name. What was the name of the family he always mentioned that we couldn't remember them from our childhood, and he would get upset when they were coming over? This is
The
more.
Holman.
Yes, the Holmans.
Ding, 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 ding,
ding,
ding.
ding, ding, ding. No, it's fun.
You win a second prize.
Yeah. Oh, the Holmans are coming over. Who? Oh, Jesus Christ, you know the Holmans. They did the thing with the guy. What? Remember when Bud walked in, when computers came out, he came in the room, we had like some Apple computer. He looked at it, waved his hands and said, oh, Jesus Christ, computers, who needs them? And then he said, I taught computers. When there was one in the world the size of a Macy's department store, Dad? I mean, who would do that? The computers, duh. Was there a guy in the 15th century? Oh, jeez, the printing press. Ugh. Caveman times. Who needs the wheel?
Sounds like the grumpy old man.
In my day, we didn't have really.
So it wasn't Mayberry for you growing
Oh,
up.
no, it was.
It wasn't Aunt B and
No, it wasn't.
And Pa.
No, we scrambled hard for food because Mark was the human garbage disposal. That was his nickname, the
Yeah,
big
he
brother.
ate everything.
And he would get a mixing bowl that you would do like a cake batter or just a giant bowl like a foot tall. And he'd take the Captain Crunch and fill the whole thing up. So if you didn't scramble in fast, if there was sweet cereal, like Sugar Smacks, Corn Pops,
Oh, forget
Mark would
about
do
it.
the whole, yeah. And he also hulkified stuff. Like he would break things and crash through things. He
Was he the oldest?
He was the oldest, and he was the only kid who was big in our family. He ended up being 6'2", and I don't know if he'll come on, but he's a piece of work, that Mark Carvey.
I don't think he's going to come on.
But I think he's gonna like being talked about by us.
Yeah, I actually talked to him, Dane.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, Laura. What did he say? One guy commented that our podcast was too wild. Maybe that was him.
Yeah, he's a fake Instagram account. He's just trolling
no,
you.
he said we can say anything we want about him, but he doesn't want to go on.
Oh,
And maybe he'll be upset that I said that on the podcast. No, he doesn't care. He just doesn't want to.
Oh, he doesn't care. Okay, so one time, Mark, no, I'm saving stories. I don't know if I should tell the story when I sneaked out or whether you want to tell us. Yeah.
She was supposed to talk about her dance party.
Let's talk about how much you were dancing. Let's finish with that.
Oh my. Oh yes. Okay.
So,
what do you want to know?
Well, last week we left it off. These are for the nerds that are just really into this podcast, all 700 of them.
No, wait, shut up, Brian. They're getting to this part. Shut up. It's about the sister dancing. I love this part.
Yeah, it's about the sisters.
Shut up, Brian. I don't want to talk. Just let him play this part. It's been going on too long. No, it hasn't. This is the way they do it. It's not.
I'm doing Stallone.
It's the way they do it.
Nerdy Stallone brother.
They got no way to do it. How old are you? I'm 7.5.
Okay, Laurie, so I remember you always in there dancing. You had a little 45 record player. I'd go down. I'd just open the door, and you and Dunn DeMarzo would be with white bobby socks just dancing your ass off, and I'd close the door. And we left there. So what went on in there?
Well, almost every school day, me and my girlfriends, mostly Diane DeMarzo, sometimes Becky Weldon or Manette Smith would show up, but we would have dance parties because we were I was obsessed with it. I've always loved dancing, and I think I might have had white go-go boots. Do you remember knee socks? But I might have actually had some.
You know what they were? They were Nancy Sinatra specials, right? But yeah, you got the really good ones. I got go-go. No, I didn't have go-go boots. I had desert boots.
And my stereo was from Penny's. It was called a Pen Crest.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the height of technology at that time. But, yeah, it was a really cool stereo, and we would put on, the Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. Remember those guys?
Oh, yeah. This magic
diamond ring.
moment. Oh, this diamond ring. Gary and the Playboys.
This diamond ring doesn't shine for me
anymore, and this diamond ring.
Dun, dun. Yeah.
And
And I did the swim to it. You know, the swim.
yeah, with the hands
no,
going.
the pony.
The pony.
And would you be there, Dana?
No.
Oh.
I just knew they were doing it in there.
Secretly looking. You were secretly looking.
Not really. No, you think I had something for Diane DeMarzo? What are you talking about?
No. She was a rough kid. I think she socked me in the stomach once. Really hard.
Oh, yeah. We all got beaten. I had many fights in 4th grade. I was 4-2 record. I would just take 10 and get. I fought the Casson brothers. I fought Jimmy Casson, Johnny Casson. One time, Jimmy Casson picked on Johnny Casson. I was at their house. Their mother was like 28, and she had 3 husbands. And Jimmy Casson came out with like 10 steak knives and just held them out, crying like, "Hey, I'm gonna cut you." I left after that. But yeah, it was a rough and tumble. Remember, my parents for some reason wanted us to go to church. I don't think they believed in it at all. And at 16, we go, we're not quite sure it's really what we kind of think could be true. And we never went.
Mom wanted us to go.
But
It was a family thing we could do on Sundays.
But remember on Sunday morning, if we made it to like 9:30, we knew they were going to bail. So there was a tense hour of like, are we going to have to go? Because Scott and I would have to put on the church clothes and the church pants. And we didn't want anyone in the neighborhood to see us. So we got in the back of the station wagon and we were flat down, kind of like a James Bond movie. Completely no one could see us in our church clothes. And then we would go and try to stay awake with Pastor Jerry. We were Lutherans. And I could tell my dad was miserable. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. His catchphrase was religious, but he wasn't. Thank you very much. Come and get some. All right, so Laurie, what should we close with? Because there's so many more stories to come that I don't want to blow it all.
Oh, my God.
Do you have a Dana
Chris.
memory? Do you have a Dana story when he was young?
A Dana? Yeah, one I thought of. I don't know what we did exactly, Dane, but at Christmas, I think all the presents were hidden under the bed. And, of course, we always looked.
Yeah.
And then we had to act excited when we got the gift, but we always looked under the bed. And I think there was an easy bake oven under there.
Mm-hmm.
And I really was super excited about it. And then, so we got the easy bake oven, and then you and I decided to do some kind of experimental cake with bubble gum. And, and anyway, we ended up making this huge mess, breaking it, and I think Dad got mad and we got in trouble. But it's just the easy bake oven story.
I thought it was cool. It was easy. It has its own title. It's a chapter, the Easy Bake Oven story. No, I remember that little thing. It was cool. It's an oven, but it's not in the kitchen. It's wherever we say it is. I mean, for me,
It had a little, it had a light bulb, and we were amazed that we could cook something in it. We were just little. You were probably in 4th, 3rd grade or something, or I don't know.
I was easily entertained. Let's face it, we were what you'd call slow kids. We were in the red reading book. But
well, I had to go. Well, Dane, I had to go to Mr. Beardsley's reading van.
Oh, God.
Really?
That sounds like
why?
pervy.
Because I couldn't read. That was the special ed program. You went to Mr. Beardsley's reading van.
What's
and
it called?
He was a big fat guy. Mr. Beardsley.
Wait, Chris has a
Mr.
question.
Beardsley's reading van. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
Laurie, are you sure it was?
And he would, yes.
I don't know.
It's where. No, I wasn't abused in there. I wasn't.
Well, it just sounds like some chat.
know.
Mr. Beardley's reading van.
A
Hi,
van.
this is Don Winston with KTLA News. A Mr. Beardsley's reading van apparently done a lot more than reading here in El Monte, California. Laura, our reporter, Laurie Lutter Carvey, is on the scene. And Mr. Beard.
Well, he was so fat that when he got on the van, the whole van would shake. Because you knew when he got on and off because the van would go back and forth.
Well, that sounds like Redneckie. I know a guy so fat he got on the van, go back and forth. You think they're an earthquake?
Come and get some.
Come and get some. Come and get some. Yeah, well, we had fun. There's always so many stories, but
Oh, there's so much stuff.
I'm
But I
gonna-
think the highlights are Mr. Beardsley and the Easy Bake Oven. I don't know.
I think it was just the idea that I didn't take Bud's insults seriously because he would cry when he threw up.
Yes,
That's just
the
so,
highlight.
and also having me get his enema kits, and when I was in. But it is funny if you buy something, no matter how illicit or embarrassing it is. If your brain knows it's for someone else, you're not embarrassed.
Right.
Since I knew it wasn't my enema kit, I was like, yeah, enema kit. Although stay with my enema kit, I'm gonna get a couple more for him anyway. Just keep it there. People were watching. Yeah, I need more enema kits. But in my head, I'm going, it's not for me, man. I don't care what you guys think. You know.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not for me.
Yeah, but Bud was so grateful. Oh, Dane, he'd come up. Oh, Dane, oh, could you go to the store and give me something like this? He'd never say what it was. Okay. Oh, sure.
Hold the package out.
Yeah, I'd hold it
he
out.
Was probably impaired. Yeah, he had a lot of gastrointestinal
Both
problems.
parents
Both your
were.
I know. He's talking-
Maalox.
He did Maalox and stomachs and things, but he would do those vodkas in his 50s. He would come home because he was a tenured teacher. He'd come home around 12:30, and then he'd do a tumbler of ice, like a 12-inch glass of pure vodka. But
Yeah, the vodkas. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, just a little bit of vodka. Everything in moderation. That's what he'd say. And then if he was on a diet, he'd say, oh, just one bite. And he'd get a giant spoon and get like a half pint of ice cream on that spoon. Oh, Jesus Christ, just one bite. And it was just as much as a huge ice cream cone. Anyways, and Billy was fine too. Pancake batter in the fridge. Because she was...
Well, Dean, there were lots of eating disorders and problems, but we'll get into that next week.
Yeah, we'll get into it next week. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sister Laurie Lauder.
Oh my God.
All right, Laurie, we'll try to cheer up.
Yeah. You're so sad.
I'm gonna pee my pants. Oh, that's so damn funny. All right, well, you
All
guys
right.
are the best.
Well-
I'm gonna
Bye.
recover